Alrighty guys, this is our next project. It's an FS56RC. I think that stands for really cool. Steel weed eater. Now this one is particularly special because this one is the one my wife runs. She loves to weed eat, loves to mow, take care of all that stuff as long as she doesn't need to use a riding mower. She loves it. But this thing has got a problem. Let me show you what that problem is and then we'll figure out how we're going to fix it. Alright, well I gotta tell you, I just dropped the camera onto the concrete floor. So we're going to test how resilient a Canon M50 Mark II is. And so if this is working, it's working. It appears to be working, and I think it's recording sound okay, as well as video, but we won't know for sure until we actually get into it. But meantime, back at the ranch, give this thing a couple of chunks on the old thing. Going to put it to full choke. And she makes a lot of rattling sounds. Like that. There is something going on in here. Yeah, sounds like it's in the clutch. Something's getting pretty wild and rowdy in there. So let's figure out how to get this thing apart. I'm not 100% sure, but I think we can figure it out. So, without further ado, let's figure it out. It looks like we got to split this whole thing. I think that's all one piece back through here. Like this is all one piece and this is all one piece. So we'll get our splitting on and see what we find. I think first we probably need to remove this black cover. Looks like it ought to go first, and then we'll work on doing the rest. Let me find some Torx bits, because Lord knows this thing is chock full of Torx bits. And then we'll get her apart. Right size? Why, no. Let's see if this is the right size. Whew, look at that. Second try. All right, here we go. Like this thing could use a bit of a service on its air filter too. Yeesh. That one the same size. Appears to be. All right, let's see what else we got on this thing. Looks like there's some down in this hole. Of course, my bit doesn't reach those. All right, we got to get down into these two. So we shall see if we have a different bit for that. All right, let's see if any of this is getting any looser yet. Get all the screws out, flip this back over. I'm hoping this top cover comes off and not the bottom one. It's getting looser. That one's out. That one's out. I wonder if this isn't just tabbed together to this orange stuff. Let me get something to give it just a little bit of love here. Something's hanging onto it pretty tight. Get the spark plug wire off there. It's kind of hanging right about here. I'm just wondering if there's not a tab in there that kind of hangs the two pieces together. But I don't know. Seems like this ought to be splitting apart a little better than it is too. I don't really want to take that one out because I don't think it has anything to do with it. That's coming up a little bit. right there. Let's see if we can get the rest of this to kind of come up a little bit. Still kind of caught right there. Just got to get a little tougher. There we go. Something's been winging on the edge of the things there. Ah, it's a rock. Huh. So we'll get it to focus on that a little bit. Yeah, it's just a rock banging around in there. Ain't that neat? I bet it's all it needs. You know, we can probably just fire it up like this and see if that's all it needs. I want to be a little tender with all this stuff, though. I'm pretty confident. Let's go ahead and put the cover back on. This really is my first foray into a steel. Got to get past the spark plug wire again. There we go. Put him back on. Yeah. There we go. Flip this sweetheart over. Set some of these back in. Yep, yeah, there it is. Ah, that one is different. That's the one that goes in the top. We'll have to trade him out. Oh yeah, those don't reach. Don't want to over torque them with this super cool ratchet. All right, let's swap this one out. This one just has a bigger head on it. Don't want to get too crazy because that goes into plastic. Alrighty, there we go. Man, this thing. I got spooge on my fingers, and now I got spooge everywhere. Let's at least blow out this air filter. What do you think? I think it should. That's got to be way better. This goes in here, it's got an arrow that says up, so we'll put it towards the top. Even though it's not shaped the same all the way around, it shouldn't be too hard to figure out how it goes. But you know, I've seen worse. Now, we'll go ahead and put this back on. There we go. Now I think one thing we need to do to this thing is clean it up a little bit. Grab some spray cleaner and polish, the Honda variety, and see what it does for us. This is a good test. You see how dirty it is now. Dang, look at that. It's not new, but it's like garage sale new. You know, that'd be good enough to throw in a garage sale and get an extra $5 out of it. We're not selling this though. My wife loves this thing. She complained to me when we bought it because it was too expensive for a weed eater. Or a string trimmer, weed whacker, whatever you want to call them. She said it was too expensive for that, but she's loved it ever since. Kind of that cry once kind of thing. Quality is priceless. You know, all those old Snap-on things you hear whenever you're buying tools off the truck that you could buy elsewhere much cheaper and probably just as good. Now, some Snap-on tools really are better. Plank drive plus wrenches, yep, they're really better. Ratchets, yep, they're better. But some of it is just rebadged some other brand, just like everything else. All right, I think that'll do it. Guys, we spent zero money on this thing. Found a rock and got it out of there, and let's fire this thing up, and I bet it's fixed. It's sure knocking the heck out of stuff in there, though. Choke. I'd say that's not too bad. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Super quick, short little video this week. I just had to knock this out for my wife. Otherwise, she'd have probably knocked me out. Not really. She's a great woman. All right, here we are. Thanks for watching, and as always, God bless.